What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode, I think this is 9 now, man. Episode 9 of Compin Atlanta. Thanks for tuning in. We're ready to rock, we're ready to get in. I got my Clever the Investor hoodie on. Shout out to everybody who came out to Clever the Investor. That was a ball in Vegas. Shout out to all my sub 2 people. We already know what that event was truly called, the Sub 2 Family Reunion. We came out there, we killed it. It was great. I had tons of fun. I loved it. And shout out to all my good family and friends that I met out there, made so much connections that immediately impact our business. So first and foremost, I got to tell you guys, if you are not going to events and networking, what are you doing? Like, you got to go to events. You got to reach out. You got to get out of your comfort zone. Go to the events. The larger, the bigger, the better. But you got to go with intention, right? I'm a big teacher of proper expectations. And so you got to have proper expectations in the sense of, okay, I'm going to this event. What am I going for? What am I going to do? Who am I going to meet? Who else is going to be there? These are things you guys need to be understanding. Like, what am I going for? What? Where am I going? Who's going to be there? And who do I want to meet? So that way, when you walk up to a Ashley G just sitting there getting ready to get some lunch, and you're like, oh man, there's Ashley. Like, you can come up and you can ask her questions, and it can be a fruitful conversation from the point of view of you getting something from Ashley and giving something to Ashley. Right? Or you can walk up and you be getting ready to go into the meeting room, and you see a Heather that's there, and you're like, oh, that's Money Green Heather right there. She's one of the biggest Gator lenders in Atlanta, Georgia. And you're like, oh man, and you can reach out and talk to her and have a meaningful conversation to be able to help her in what she's doing, and you're giving her that for free. Lead with value, give game away for free. Most of the time, people have a problem with that. And people feel that, you know what am I going to get out of it? If you start to understand how the universe works, how the world works, then you start to understand that the universe doesn't like to be in debt. So if you give, guess what's going to come back in return? A bunch of stuff that you wanted, things that you didn't even know you wanted. They're going to just come in your way and giving you that grace. And so I'm glad for everybody to be here. Hope you're able to take that advice and learn. And we're going to get started, man. And want to get started, jump straight into it. I got some people with me on the side. We have these office hours for my team. It's typically from like 11 to 6. And most of the time we have like guests come in. We have wholesalers that's in the marketplace. We have Gator lenders that comes in, and we just hang out. We comp deals together. We talk about deals. We talk about offers. We get on the phone with sellers, with other wholesalers, and we just bang it out. And it's a fun place to be. So if you're ever interested in that, definitely reach out and bring a deal, right? It's the only thing. You can't come empty-handed. You got to come with a deal. You're talking to an agent. You're talking to an investor. You're talking to whoever, and you're trying to figure out what's the next steps. How do I do this so I can get to the bag next? And we're going to talk through it, work on it, and help you get to the bag. All right. I also got one of my international, I call her the triple OG, even though her name is backwards from the letters. Her name is Gladys O'Donnell. But she's amazing. She's one of my head cold callers. Have so much tremendous love for her. So I'm the lucky one. I'm hanging with 3 amazing guests in the background while we get this show on the road today. So I'm going to go ahead and punch in the phone numbers. You know the drill. If you've been on this page before, you've been on the channel, do me a favor, go to YouTube, log in, type in Eddy Charger, go to Compin Atlanta. They'll come up, like, share, do all the extra stuff that people tell you normally to do. Because we want to share this out. We want to get this out so people can be able to get help. Now, do we comp other properties is one of the questions that I always get. And the answer is absolutely. We just don't do it on this show. This show is just for Compin Atlanta deals, and we normally get a bunch of them. So we're gonna get started. In fact, I said I was gonna say this. I had a deal that got sent over by my guy. We call him Killer Serge. So shout out to my guy Serge, who sent over a deal that we were actually just underwriting about an hour or so ago. And I want to jump in and grab that address really quick and get everybody onto it because it was a really, really good comping. And then I got Franklin hit me up. Franklin, man, super young OG that is killing it. He's a real estate agent here in Atlanta. I'm loving what he's doing, loving his drive, his attitude. It's him and his boys, and they're doing some amazing things. He actually just messaged me. We both called a buyer. I'm sorry, we both called a seller, and he hits me up today, and he's like, "Hey, dude, I got this property. Can you take a look at it for me?" He gives me the address, and I'm like, something about this address just seems so familiar. And literally, while we were on Zoom, I go to my notes from yesterday, and my cold caller called the property just yesterday. And so I'm like, dude, I got this lead already, right? So we start cracking up. So I walked him through how to go and get that contract, right? I'm like, dude, I'm not going to call and try to get this deal. If you on it, I'm going to let you get it, right? But this is how you want to do it. So we comped the deal. We went through it. Franklin is super sharp, so he already knew how to kind of move. And he just sent me a message. He was like, you were right. He's getting calls every 5 to 10 minutes. The market is hot, especially in Atlanta. So I got to make sure that my people know what they're doing and are set so that they can win. Another thing I want to give a shout out to everybody that is part of the Elephant Challenge. Shout out to my guy, Pace Morby. Hands down, probably one of the most impactful mentors that I have on my roster, which is kind of crazy because I got an amazing roster of individuals that I look to for mentorship and different things in my life. And one of the things that he's doing right now is the Elephant Challenge. Now, if you don't know what the Elephant Challenge is, I have no idea where have you been for the last 2 weeks because they've been coming on. You can actually go to YouTube, type it up. You join the Creative Financing with Pace Morby Facebook page. You'll be able to find some details on there too and join in. And he's teaching people for free how to use a program like Privy to be able to locate deals. First, understand the market that you're looking for, locate deals, and then also be able to make offers. And so that's been fun. We've been doing that together collectively as a team as well. So shout out to Pace and all the people that's involved in the Elephant Challenge. And also shout out to everybody that's buying tickets. Just got a text again, people buying some tickets, people going on the website, go to Eventbrite. If you go to eventbrite.com and you type in recession proof, the first thing that come up you'll see is our event that we're doing here locally in Atlanta. It's going to be at the Hudson Grill in Sandy Springs, August the 4th. It'll start at 7 p.m. We're going to be talking about creative financing. I have one of the biggest cash buyers in Atlanta, Mr. Abraham Gray. This guy is literally buying a property a day. He's one of my partners, and he's going to be going in on creative financing. How to use that to recession-proof your real estate business. He's been doing real estate for longer than I think I've been born, which is kind of crazy to think about it. And he's still buying properties, and he does a lot of it creatively. So come on out. That's going to be a fun time. We always do it at really cool places. Last event, we did it at an axe throwing factory where we talked real estate, we talked multifamily, we talked gator lending, and then we also talked mindset, right? And then we threw a bunch of acts and hung out and drinks and food and all that, so it was good. So this time, the food level is going to be even better, and we got all types of games and stuff, but we are definitely going to be talking real estate. So who can come to the event? Well, if you're a wholesaler, you definitely want to be there. If you're a creative finance specialist, you want to be there. If you are a real estate agent, you definitely want to be there. In fact, shout out to all my real estate agents. I'm actually looking to do events that are focused in on agents because there's a lot of money that's being left on the table that I want these agents to be able to get. Now, why do I care? Well, in part, I have a lot of friends that are agents. The only reason why I care so much is because I also am part owners in a brokerage. Shout out to Top Brokerage and my partners on there. And we see what's happening in the market, and we see how some agents are thriving and some are barely surviving because they don't have the right tools to be able to maneuver in an ethical way when you're doing business, real estate in Atlanta. So we're going to be doing this event. This is one of many so that we can get that done and empower our people to be able to win in that way. All right. So with that being said, let's jump into it. I'm going to look up this first address here. Let me pull, let's see, what should we be using to comp? What program do you guys want to use? We've used, obviously we have MLS. I love using the MLS, but not everybody has access to it. So typically we don't want to use it. But what do you guys want to use? Do you want to use Privy? Do you want to use PropStream? Whatever you guys want to use, put it in the chat, and that's what we'll just randomly pick. That way everybody can get some action. Get that popping. All right, let's see what we got. All right, we got PropStream, Zillow. All right. Let's see. Got Privy, PropStream again. Privy more. Man, this is getting equal. Like, not oftentimes I get asked like, what's the best one to comp with? To be honest with you guys, I think it's very important for you to be able to know how to comp with all of these products because you just never know, right? If you were focused on, oh, I'm a master at comping with PropStream, and then something happens to PropStream, now you're stuck. You got to learn all over again, right? And so I like to be able to use all of them. And so you can kind of get your skill set better with that one. And what we'll do is, how about we use all the top three today? So the top three that I got seems to be PropStream, Zillow. Well, Zillow just got another one. But we'll use all three. We'll do three today. We'll run through it. Let me pull this address up and get everything started. All right, so we'll first start with PropStream. And while we get started, if you guys have any questions, definitely let me know. Put it in the chat or reach out to anybody that has a question. All right, let me share the screen. All right, there we go. So we're live and direct. And there's the team. You see the ladies right there back there working. Say hello, everybody. You guys are on Compin Atlanta TV. All right, that's it. You guys get out of here. You're taking attention away. You're like, man, this guy's so lucky. He's so lucky. Look at them. They're beautiful. All right, there we go. So we'll log into PropStream, punch in our first address. All right, so here's the property here. Now this property was a very interesting one for us to be able to comp. And we'll get through it. So we got a question that just came through. I want to answer it really quick. How do you comp land? Do you deal with land buyers? So first, I'll answer the second question. Yes, I do deal with land buyers. I actually love land. At one point in time in the future, I'm going to solely just be doing land deals just because I like the whole land and development aspect of the game. But I do deal with land buyers. And how do you comp land? Land is a little bit different, but it's not difficult at all. In fact, if you type in the chat what the address is, I'll type it. I'll go ahead and comp for you. We can comp land right here. Unless, is it this address here? Somebody just type in another address. 1429 Graceland. Is that the land property? All right, so here's his property here. So we're going to go to comparables. Now, it's the 4-bedroom, 2-bath, about 1,200 square feet. So first thing I like to do is I like to come in and grab MLS data. And if you're on PropStream always is going to have it set up where you're looking at a year of data. I don't like using that, and I'll tell you why in a second. So the market has changed drastically. In fact, anybody who's doing comps now and you're getting your ARV, if you get your ARV and your ARV is, let's say, 300,000, but all of your ARVs came from properties that were sold, let's say, back in May. Even though that qualifies for the last 6 months, I would urge you to take a deduction on that. You want to be taking your ARV and minus 10 to 15% right now and make that the new ARV. Now, why would I do that? That doesn't make any much sense. It does, because where we are right now, we're in a shift in the market. In fact, in Atlanta, 3 months ago, we had 7,000. We had less than 7,000 listings at any given time. Okay. Today, we have close to 14,000 listings. There's a lot of things that are happening that's causing so much more properties to stay on the market. And so therefore, you can't assume that the price that your property sold for 3 months ago or 6 months ago is going to work. It will not. You have to take in consideration all these things that are affecting that. And in addition to, you also have to take in consideration that it's not ending. There's a strong possibility we could be going even lower. In fact, I had an investor tell me that he was almost willing to sell his property today just so that in 12 months he can buy it back at a cheaper price. That's how confident they are in the value going further down. So when you're getting your ARV price, you want to go ahead and deduct 10 to 15% from that ARV before you do anything else, because that could possibly be what the new sales price is going to be when you get done with the property. All right. So again, I like to try to stay as close as possible. So let's do like the last today's the 28th, so the 28th. So I'm super tight, right? Now, will I go further back? Yes, I will. If I have to. But to start off, I'm gonna start my search real tight. Okay, and so here we have this one comp that's a condominium, and that's my bad. I should have changed this to make it only give me single family properties. All right, perfect. So now I can go back. Let's go back a month. See if anything pops up. All right, nothing. So before I go back even further, I'm gonna change this to a mile and see if I get anything there. All right, so I do get something. But if you guys remember, when you're doing your comps, you have to be spot on with, is it crossing? So here's my property here. And you see the two comps I got? First of all, they're all the way across Lenox Park. So that's a whole different area, right? My property is right here. I need the comps that are on this side, Pine Hills, because the price value between Pine Hills and Lenox Park is going to be two totally different things. You see how my property is on this side? If my property was on this other side right here, we would be cooking with grease, but it's not. So we're greaseless right now. All right, so let's go back. And let's go back 2 more months. Well, let's do 3 more months. Just take it. So now we're in our 6 month mark. All right. So now we got a whole bunch of properties. All right. Shout out to everybody. It sucks when you join on Facebook for some strange reason. It just says Facebook users, but definitely shout out to everybody joining on Facebook as well. Appreciate the love. Spread the word. So if you're on here, here's what I would do. I would come in and try to see if I can get my pencil to do this because we see two comps here. 1 and 11. The pencil icon's not here. It probably would just show up on a big map. It's right here. So here's what I would do. Take up my pencil and I would start drawing inside of the line. All right, and then search. And now all the comps is going to be from in here, which is only 2, but still, just to be able to prove the point, how that makes that happen. So we'll let that load up. It's taking quite a bit here. All right, here we go. So 1 and 2, you see it's still the same comps. Now they both sold back in March, which was the height of one of the heights of the market. But let's look to see just how much of a comp is it. So ours is a 4.2. This is 3 3s, 3 2s. Square footage. Now check this out. Ours is a 4.2, smaller square footage. These are larger square footage, and they're smaller bedrooms, right? So, and you would say, well, this one has an extra bathroom and a half. Okay, well, this one doesn't, and it's still bigger. So always keep in mind when you guys are looking at comps and stuff like that, right? This one says cost per square foot was about $548, and that's number one. That's this one right here. And then this one says it was $365. So which one of these would I be using as a comp? More than likely, I'll be using this one here. But I need to take a look at the condition of the property. All right, let's see what this condition is and see if we can make it work that way. So looks fairly simple, outdated for sure, but it's not in bad shape. All right, unfinished basement. So this, to me, this strikes me as a property that's as is. And so if I'm looking at a property as is, ultimately I would be buying it at, I would buy it a little bit different, right? But this is saying it's sold for 520. Again, we're in a whole different market right now, so I wouldn't use this sales price as solid. I'd probably go ahead and deduct 10 to 15% from that sales price. And then actually, so for me, I would be somewhere in the 4s. And again, I would still need to take a look at my subject property, this one, take a look at the pictures. But if it's somewhere in that same ballpark area, that's what I would be using, and that's would be my comp. All right. So that was just one I saw that I really wanted to give out. Let's do this property right here. And I said we was going to do different ones. So let's go to Zillow for this one. All right. And the address is 1429 Graceland Court, Merrill, Georgia. All right. All right. So here's our property. 4.2. It is 1,700 square feet and year built, 1964. So those are the main pieces of information that you need, right? So then what I do is come out here, try to identify exactly where my property is. Zoom out a little bit. All right, now what I would do is, now we see some here for sale. All right, it's 349, it's 259. I would, so okay, I don't even have to click in. So this says this is listed for 259, and it's been on the market for 34 days. This one has been on the market for 132 days, but it's a land deal. It's about 7 acres. So we can't count this one. But this one, now I'm not using this as a comp, I'm just paying attention to it. Okay, it's a listing. Doesn't mean anything. Price can drop 100K tomorrow, and when, we wouldn't have to take that in consideration. So, but I'm just looking to see like what is being listed right now. What price point is it being listed, and is it selling? Now, here's a little bit better data that we like to use. So we like to go with our sold properties. We'll do exact match, and we'll do 4 bedrooms. Then home type, deselect here, and then come down, select homes, because it's a single family property. And then I like to go into more just so I can make sure we're getting stuff that was sold recently. So let's do last 30 days first, kind of see what it gives us. This one here was sold at 205 last week. This is perfect. So let's pop this one in. Let's look. Hopefully there's some pictures. All right, no pictures. Let's go to home details and see what information we got. So we see traditional home, needs some work, kitchen and minor areas being sold as is. Okay, so this was sold to the investor. All right. Hopefully you guys can see where I got that detail from. I just got it right off of the listing. This was sold to an investor. Even though it didn't say investor special or something like that, it's telling me like, listen, it's being sold as is, no seller's disclosure, which is another hint, clue. You better know what you're doing. Seller installed HVAC, they upgraded plumbing, new toilets and tile in the bathrooms, electrical panel, fresh paint. This is a great opportunity. That's an investor come here word, must see. But you see here, it also says the kitchen and other minor areas need some work, which means we started doing this and we was like, look, we're not spending no more money. Put this bad boy in the market, and they sold it for 205. All right. So what I would do at this point is I would be comparing my property, okay, the Graceland property, to this property. If my property is in better shape, then I can sell it for more than 205. But if my property would be one that I would consider selling on the market, I'm sorry, not on the market, but selling it to an investor, right? Then it's safe to say that if my property is in worse shape, that I would be able to, it's going to sell for less than 205. So when I'm doing, now this is something I call as is comps. This is not the ARV method where you take the 3 comps, then you add them, then you divide it by 3, then now you have your comp, your ARV number, right? This isn't it. This is my regular, quick, dirty, just talking to investors price. If I find a property or more than one property that was sold to an investor, they look like investors' numbers. Typically, that's going to be the lower numbers of all the numbers that's available. And I see it sold for 205, like in this example. I look at my property, and my property is just the same or worse, then this is my max number that I know an investor will pay for my property. So now I try to figure out how much do I want to make for my assignment fee. Let's say it's 10K. All right, if my property, let's say just for argument's sake, was pretty much the same here, maybe the kitchen is done, but the bathrooms still need to get done and the roof still needs to get done, but outside of that, it's pretty decent property. Then I would say, okay, I would deduct 10K from the 205. So just so we can make easy math for everybody, including myself, 10K for 205 is 195. So my offer to my seller would be 195, knowing that I can sell this for 205 to my end buyer. So I hope that makes sense. Again, I'm sorry I don't have your name, it just says Facebook user, but that's exactly what I would be doing here for this particular property. Now, another added bonus you could do is you could actually reach out to your cash buyers in this area and see if they would be interested in it. And if they are, then you can send it to them. And they could tell you, yeah, I would pay this much, right? Like this area is an area that I would buy in. But you can't just send it to me like this. Don't just send me the address. I would have you send me the pictures, send me the price if you know it. If you don't, okay, we'll work on it. We can comp it together, right? But send me the pictures, send me the address, and then we can go in and be able to make an offer, or I can, tell you that number is too high or that number is too low, right? So that's how we do it. And if you need my email address, is chargernationwide@gmail.com. Let me just put it in. And your deals to Charger 247.com. All right. So hopefully that helped. I already saw you said thank you. That's awesome. Cool. Go get this bad boy locked up. If you can't make it work, then reach out to me and we can call the seller together, or we can figure out what's going on with the deal, where we need to be at, and get the thing locked up. All right. Love to buy it. How do you calculate the ARV of that property if the buyer asks you? If the buyer asks me how do I calculate the ARV, well, in this scenario here, I didn't calculate the ARV. We didn't even get to it. So I would tell them I didn't calculate the ARV. I'm going based off of what comparable properties sold in the area. So your property is just very similar to the property over on Skylock. You know where Skylock is? Most sellers are gonna be like, yes, or they're gonna be like, I don't know. You're like Skylock, like just if you going down tomorrow, and I be on the map. I don't know where none of these houses be at, but I be looking at the map on Google, and I'm like, if you go down, you can even take Continental, make a left on Continental, and just go around. And then as soon as you go around, you're gonna see, yeah, that's Skylock. It's like literally 10 seconds from your house. But that sold for 205, and it's pretty much the exact same shape as your property. So that's where I'm coming in with my numbers. And that one was a little bit better, so that's why mine is 195. Now, if I needed to get an actual ARV, I would be looking at properties that sold in the area, but sold at fixed up after repaired value. Is what it is, right? So I'm looking at properties that were already fixed up. When we looked at this, there wasn't any properties that was already fixed up. And all I did is 30 days. So we can go back to 90 days and kind of look. But keep in mind, when you go to 90 days, remember the market was different. The market is different today than it was just last week. Like I'm not lying. The market is different today than it was last week. In fact, I've been saying this all week. My team's been cracking up at me, but I've been saying it all week. Yesterday's price is not today's price. That should be on your shirt. It should be on your, like, where you making, like, that should be your motto when you're educating sellers and agents. Because if you buy a property at price A today and you try to sell it 3 months later and the market has continued to go on a downturn, you will lose money. But if you're wholesaling it to an investor, one who's educated is not going to buy that deal from you. So you're going to end up having all these deals that you get on the contract. You're like, I'm an amazing closer, but I can't sell none of my deals. Why not? Well, it's because you're not buying it at the right price. You make your money when you buy, period. You do not make your money when you sell. You make your money when you buy. All right? So here's another property. This sold 2 months ago, and it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, pretty much same square footage, and it sold for even less. Let's click on it and kind of see what's the scenario here. Now this one wasn't on market, so I'm not sure we can get details there. But let's see. Sometimes we do. No, this one wasn't on market, so we're not going to get the details from the agent. But look at it like this. If the other property sold at 205, it sold on the market, and the agent said, this property needs work, right? Oh, look, somebody knows that property. I think the person who's working this deal said that one was a dump. I saw it. Yeah. Oh, they live in the area. This is perfect. Love it. This is do business in your area. It's the best. So listen, if that property needed work and it sold for 205 and it sold on market, this property sold for 141. I'm only under the impression that this property needed way more work. So this is perfect. So, man, it really sucks that can you type your name in the chat so I don't keep calling you Facebook user? I just feel like my mama raised me better than that. But if you live in a neighborhood and you've seen this other property, right? Here's what I want. What I want you to do is to your property that's on Graceland, I need you to find out the condition of the property. And if you already know it, Todd, perfect. Todd, what's up, man? If you already know the condition of the property, here's what you're going to do. You're going to take your property and you're going to look at the one that sold for 205, the condition of it, either the description or actual pictures, and you're going to look at the property that sold for 141, description or actual pictures, and you're going to look at your property and you're going to say, does my property look more like this property, or does it look more like 141? Or is it somewhere in the middle? Based off of that number, you're going to deduct $10K, and that's your offer price. Does that make sense, Todd? All right. I hope that makes sense. He's probably just like so amazed right now, or maybe he was sneezing for 7 minutes and didn't really hear anything that I said. But nonetheless, I hope everybody else caught it and was able to make it work. So let's move on to our other property we have. All right, so we got this one on Joseph Ebon. All right, good. We're looking good. Perfect. And like I said, if you can get that property locked up, I'm pretty sure we can purchase that property. So let me know. Let's go to our next one. And we said we want to use Privy. So let's close this out. And let's jump on Privy. All right, Privy is pretty cool. I love using Privy. But like I said, I love using all of them because I want to be skilled in being able to use more than one. Because you just never know, right? You never know what's going to happen. So let's look at this property. So here we go. 224. There it is already. Northwest Atlanta. Yeah. All right. So this is the address here. All right. Now, some is off-market property. I'm not getting any pictures here. So what I like to do is I like to do a Google search anyway, just so I can get down to the neighborhood. Now, especially in an area like this, if you're familiar with it, you're going to see I'm so nice. I can't even explain this better to you. The picture just shows exactly what I'm talking about. In an area like this, if you're familiar with this area, you will see several different style of homes in the area. This is several different style homes on the same block. This is the same block. So watch this. We're going to take the camera. Look at this big old house right here. Amazing, beautiful. All right, we're not even going to go across the street yet. Look at this one. Different style, obviously newer. Look at this one, older, but been renovated. Look at this one, not older, hasn't been renovated, right? Then when you scroll down, there's a lot of stuff that's happening in this area with Joseph E. Boom and stuff. And I emailed you. Hold on a second. I emailed you the other details I have. I don't know why I put the address located to you. So is this not the right address? 224 Joseph E., or is it another address? But while we're getting clarification on that, there's a bunch of stuff that's happening in this area. You have this new building here. This new part of a new incentive program that's happening in this area, and so that's why you see a lot of changes. Now, this is something that's very important. I'm not sure if this is the right address yet. We'll double check in a second, but I want to show you guys something. Um, if it is the right address, oh, look at this house. This is the Driving for Dollars house, y'all. So if anybody wants this address, go get it. 252 Joseph E. Boom. It is, but Google put you at the wrong one. It's between 220 and 230. Okay. So we'll find 220. We'll find the right address. But what I'm saying is these properties are on a major road, a very major road, and it's double line. You got to know how this affects real estate because it does. So this is the best way you can think about it. This is 247. The best way you can think about it is I don't know why it's like this, but they assume everybody that's buying a home is the traditional family or whatever that's buying a home. So it's the, 2 adults, 2.5 kids, and a small dog or a dog, right? And so in their minds, if you live on a main road, they automatically assume that your property, your value is going to go down because most people don't want to live on the main road because they don't want their kids accidentally running out there. All right. I think this is the property here. Is it this White House? Let me first thing to change. Or is this the land one that I got messaged before? Let's see. This is 230. So I'm assuming this is what you're trying to sell. Is this the land? But most people, they assume are not going to want to live. And for the most part, that has some truth to it. Okay, it's the vacant lot. Perfect. Got you. So for the most part, that has some truth for it. Most people are not going to want to live on a busy road. It's a lot of noise. It's a lot of, you have people that's coming out a lot. You have traffic. If you have small kids, I don't want to be in the kitchen and they run and go get their ball and it's in the street. It's a lot. And so most of the time you have people that are like, I don't want all that involved. And so the value of homes on the main street typically are lower than the other homes on smaller streets or whatever. Now, depending on the neighborhood, it doesn't matter. If the area is popping, like for example, there are certain homes in Marietta that's near one of the major hospitals that's over there. But that area is popping. So even though it's on a main street, it still keeps its value. In fact, a lot of that is historical homes. And so that raises the value even more because it is based on other factors. This is not one of those scenarios. Now, this particular deal, we're talking about vacant land. And now I saw you put that the ARVs is between 400 and 500. So I would love to kind of know where you're getting that from. In fact, I would love to kind of just have you come on the show. If you want, I can send you the link. Just shoot me a message on my Facebook Messenger. I send you a link to jump in. That way you can kind of explain what you got going on here with for us. But what we have to do now, we're looking at a land deal. First thing we want to do is kind of see, okay, are there any other land deals that have sold recently. If they're landers that sold recently, then it's simple. We're just going to take a look at the other land and whatever they're selling at, we're going to compare, right? That's what we're going to use as a comp. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure why Privy brought me in front of this house either. But let's do our filters. I'm not sure if this Todd is the same Todd that was rocking with us early, but I just saw your message on Facebook, man. That's freaking awesome. He just messaged me and said, "I just got a contract, man." That's phenomenal, bro. I love it. I love it. I love when we come together, we work out a plan, and then we just go out and execute. You know what I mean? Like, what else is better than that? So let's see if we can find vacant land using Privy. So here's vacant, but that's for a vacant property, not vacant land. This is good because I've actually never used Privy for land before. Let's do keyword lot. Let's see what comes up. All right, if you are the person with this deal and you are going to join me, I saw you said bet. Type in your name so I know who you are, so I can find you in my Facebook Messenger, because there's a lot of people here. Or you might be in my spam. You know what's crazy? I recently just found out that like Facebook has a spam folder that it automatically puts stuff in. And I've had people hit me up like, dude, I've been messaging you. And I'm like, no, you haven't, because I'll stay on top of mine. So I know that's a lie. And the whole time they were just sitting in my spam. It's kind of crazy. All right. So I'm not finding anything here within a mile, which is perfectly okay, because typically you aren't going to find a lot of vacant lands close to each other. So when it comes to vacant land, you can actually stretch out a little bit further to be able to see what else is available, right? Now this one here, now what am I looking for? I'm looking for square footage to say 0, right? If it says 0, then it may be a lot, but we'll see. So this one says 0, but it says it's 3.2, and it looks kind of decent, kind of like, it's still standing. So I'm gonna say this one's just a accident, right? They just mistyped and should have put a square footage in there. So let's go to this one on Spencer and see instead if that's a lot. All right, just sent the DM. Okay, cool. But you gotta tell me your name, because I don't know if I see you or not. All right, let's scroll up. Let's see. No, that's not a lot either. All right. Let's see if this one is a lot. Nope. So none of these are showing up as lots. So I don't really trust Privy for this type of search. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave Privy, even though I really want to figure out how to do this on Privy though. Because what if you don't have anything else and all you have is Privy, right? You would want to learn how to use the system to do that. So let's try something else. So this is gonna be good now because now I'm going to reach out to Benson and be like, bro, how do you search for land on here? Mm. Still not giving me what I want. All right. So for the sake of time, we're gonna go ahead and you get off of Privy, which kind of sucks, but I will figure it out, and we'll take some time to just do land. In fact, I'll do one even better. I'm gonna find someone who does land all the time and does it using Privy, and we'll have them come on. That's gonna be dope. We'll do that, and that way we all would learn at the same time. Same time, man. All right. Um, I'm not seeing your message. I know you said you just sent me. I'm not seeing it, so I apologize. Not being able to get you on, but we'll get this thing comped for you nonetheless. Unless you want, if you want, type in your name into the chat, into here, and I'll just go search for you. All right, so here we are. And you see, this is what I was looking for in Privy, where you can actually type, look for property type, vacant land. Okay, I got you. Let me look for you right now. All right. This is gonna be fun. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but one of my teammates just asked a question, and I think it'd be a good one to just do it live. So give me a second. Let me close my door, and then we'll get into that. Okay. Let's see. Gladys, can you unmute? Okay, awesome. Let me put you on here so people don't think I'm crazy talking to myself. All right, so ask me the question you were saying. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a good one. So we have that happen a lot. So for those of you just to kind of catch everybody up to speed, like one of our marketing one of our marketing angles that we do is hold on, just trying to get connected. Hey bro, is this you? I just sent you a message, so let me know if you got it. And then I'll send you the link. So one of the marketing things that we use, one of the marketing strategies that we use is by offering our service to help individuals that are in different predicaments. One of them being pre-foreclosures. Sometimes people don't even know that they're in pre-foreclosures because the bank has failed to send over the proper documentation to them and let them know. That, believe it or not, happens quite often, which is super unfortunate, but it's a real thing. So what you got to be able to do is to, when you reach out to um, homeowners, is it's just having a level of understanding. Now, Gladys, I know you know this. I'm using you as an example to those who might just be getting into this, right? So most people, what I call having their head in the sand. And basically, they might know that, hey, look, I didn't pay my payments or I didn't do X, Y, and Z. And they're still like in denial about what is going to happen. Now, sometimes that's the bank's fault because the bank, depending on the bank, they can go sometimes months, sometimes years, believe it or not, without foreclosing on the property. I'll give you a great example. I had a deal, it was a multifamily in New York that we were working on. The seller was going through foreclosure for the last 30 years. They never made a payment on the house. This was crazy. They bought the house and they made the down payment, but they never made a payment after that. It was a multifamily. They have tenants in place. Excuse me. Excuse me. They had tenants in place, and they bought the house. They put tenants in there. It was like a 4-unit thing type going on, and the bank never foreclosed on them. And it wasn't until they were trying to sell it, the bank figured it out. And of course, someone at the bank got fired that day because this wasn't like a little property. The property was valued over 600 grand. So imagine how much interest payments that they were supposed to be getting all these years and they never got. So the banks are at fault for a lot of reasons why people are just like, oh, hopefully they don't do something or whatever. And sometimes it's just a mistake. They just haven't got the paperwork, but they should know, right? If you've been making your payments and somebody calls you and say that to you, then you're like, no, I'm not in foreclosure. But if you haven't been making your payments and somebody calls you and it says, have you been able to get helped? Do you have kind of like a plan? What are you thinking? And you get upset, that's just head in the sand, right? I call that flamingo effect. You're just putting your head in the sand. You want to jump into the bed and act like if you stay here long enough, everything would be all right. The truth of the matter is that's not the case. So the question is, how do we deal with this, right, Gladys? Very simple. We put them on a follow-up and we follow back up. Most of the time, sellers are, so there's this particular training that I want to go over with you guys. So this is perfect because Gladys probably knew I wanted to go over this training, and she was like, oh, let me ask him this particular question that's going to make sense and force him to go over the training with me now. She's such a eager. All right, fine, Gladys. We'll do the training now. So I'm going to share with you guys a training that I'm doing with my team so everybody here can be able to get, because I think it's important, right? There's a guy named Eugene Schwartz, and he has these 5 levels of awareness, okay? And he talks about every person, every human being, no matter, whatever you are, have levels of awareness. The first one is where you're just unaware. This is when you hear people say you don't know what you don't know. That's being unaware, right? The second one is if you have a problem that you're aware about, like, okay, I know the car's been making this noise I've noticed recently. Okay, I'm aware that there's a problem. The third level is solution aware. Okay, the car is making that noise, and you have to take it to the mechanic to be able to fix that problem. That's called solution aware. All right. Product aware is when the mechanic is telling you, here's what we need to do, right? We need to buy this piece, or we need to do this X, Y, and Z in order to be able to, what's up? In order to be able to fix the problem. Go, hold on 1 second. I'm on live. Do you need anything? Can I wait? Or?
I was just gonna ask a question.
What's up?
Are you gonna test me to, like, after you're done with that, are you gonna test me, or are you just gonna test me tonight?
I'm gonna test you as soon as I get done.
Okay.
You studying?
Yes.
All right. My son is studying his multiple times tables, so he's making it work. All right. So then you have, just to review, unaware, and you have problem aware, then you have solution aware, product aware, and then last you have most aware. Okay. So with your seller that you were just talking to, they're in the between unaware, or they're probably in that problem aware, right? And so they're trying to, problem aware can lead to a lot of just being in denial. Like, oh, I don't, what are you talking about? I'm not foreclosure, right? That's where they're at. Solution aware is only going to happen by them being able to have a conversation with somebody that can help them get through whatever their problem is, or offer solutions they didn't even know were available. Most of the time, people don't know, just because you are going through a foreclosure does not mean you got to lose your house. We can actually help you keep your house, right? But again, that's where your seller is. And the only remedy you can give that person is following up. So how often should you follow up? Well, when did you say their auction date is? August 7th. Okay, so that's literally in about a week or so. So I would follow back up with him every day until it's too late. Because we can help stop a foreclosure up to I mean, typically a foreclosure is going to go on sale. The auction starts at like 8 or 9 a.m. If we have enough time, we can go all the way up until a minute before the auction starts. But obviously, we don't want to do that, right? But we can go all the way up to the last day if we needed to. All right, so that's how I would go about it, and I'll just continue. If it's a scenario like that, I just put them for a follow up for the next day. And when I come in the next day, there were. Now I would just call at different times too, right? Because maybe he's upset right now. He might be having something else going on in his life. So tomorrow, maybe I call him in the evening, kind of see what happens, right? And if you, yeah, I mean, listen, if he's in fear of losing his house, I can only imagine what else is going on in his life right now, right? And so, and you can be upfront. You can tell him, like, hey, listen, I can only imagine this is a fairly difficult time for you right now. I just want to be able to give you advice. I know people are probably calling you, people are probably threatening you and all this other stuff. I just want to see if I can give any advice that could help get you into a better scenario, better situation. And that's that. But good question. And stop trying to sneak trainings out of me, okay? We're going to do our trainings on a scheduled time, Gladys. Jeez. All right. So I got my guy, I gave him the link, but he did not join. I don't know if because he can't join, or I'm not sure what's happening. Or if he's still trying to join or not. But let's jump into this. And if he can, then cool. If not, then maybe next time. So here's the property. What I would do is I would go down to comps. And now when you're doing properties vacant, you don't have to stick to a year. You can actually go out to 2 years. And if it's large pieces of land, you can go out to 5 years. Okay. And then also same thing with the distance. Okay. You can go out to at least 5 miles when you're looking at land. Okay. So first things first, let's go in here and let's select vacant lot. Let's see what's close. So it looks like there's a bunch of vacant lots that's here. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to try to do it within 6 months. So let's do the 28th. So it's officially 6 months. And now we have 5 properties that recently sold. Now, this is the easiest part. All we gotta do is match our properties to the ones that sold. Okay, you just saw it. Okay, cool. Come on. You can jump on. We're still waiting. So what I would do is I would just match my property. So my subject property, if I come down here, we can see the lot size. So this lot size is 15,899. Obviously mine looks like mine is bigger. And the biggest lot size closest to mine is this one here. All right, so that $5,000 one sold for 91,000. Looks like what it sold for. So let's get a little bit of backstory on the lead and see what we can come up with. All right. So what I would use as a comp would be these, but I would probably dive looking a little bit deeper to kind of see. This gives us absolutely nothing but a horrible picture here. But you can tell that that property wasn't cleared out, whereas our property is cleared out. All right. I'm not really getting much of any other details here. I just said it was listed on the market for 126 days before it sold. But then that's it. I'm not getting much of anything else. So what else would I do to kind of get some detail? I would do the opposite at this point. All right. So I would come in and I would look for properties that were on the sold on the MLS and recently I could do pending, active, and sold. And I want to do within a mile. And I'm looking for properties that were actually not. Oh yes, we can do sold too. So, oh wait, residential cars. Take out this. All right. So now this is way too much. I don't want that. All right, we got my guy in here.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, my guy?
Nothing much.
What's good, bro?
Nothing much. Just trying
So, were you able to follow me?
Can you hear me?
I hear you, but can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So, were you able to follow with me so far?
Yeah. So, as far as going on prop stream, and you said with the land you can, you said you can go out a little bit further back because I usually do 3 months, but you did like 6 months, and you said you can go out a little bit further on the radius as well.
Correct. Yeah, because land takes a long time to sell sometimes, and
Right.
so it's not the same as they just have different criteria. Make sense?
Right. Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right. So we did that. Did you see the one that we found?
No, I think I was trying to set it up when the one that you have on the screen right now.
Yeah. No. Let me go back. So I'm just doing sold properties,
Mm-hmm.
and then I come here, type in vacant land only, and then property type. Okay, that's fine. And then I'm gonna. So this is 6 months. I'm gonna take the distance out. So I want to do at least half a mile just to give me some sense. All right, and here we have this property here. Now this one sold. But this, I'm not sure why this is up. This looks like it's a house that got built. Maybe let's take a look. Now I will tell you guys this: when it comes to land deals, land is going to be um, can be difficult to sell right now to the
Mm,
masses. You got to
right,
look for your land by your developers, right? Like your developers are who is gonna want to come through and do the damn thing on this.
right.
So this one's weird. It's acting like there's a house on there, but there isn't because it's classified as vacant land. But I would actually look up these guys because they may be the buyer of the land that was right here.
Was that say Castling Homes?
Yeah, look them up. And also, this was sold on the MLS. So what I would do is I would reach out to this agent.
I can't really see it. 404.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it. You got 404-667-3200.
320. Okay.
All right, and then you can just be like, hey, I got it. Do you have any land buyers? I have an off-market property that I'm looking to sell. It's land.
Got you.
All right. So that's that property right there. But what I would do, what I was gonna do next is try to work backwards, right? So I want to try to see if I can find properties that was recently built. Now that's not always gonna be the case because sometimes they buy the land but they don't start building yet, right? So as of right now, we have a few options. We can find the person who brought that other land. In fact, you can find all these people who brought these lands, right?
Right.
You can also take this right here. It's sold for 91,000. It's only 5,000 square feet, and your lot size is 15,000. So you can add.
Right.
Obviously, you can add in more, right?
Mhm.
But then you could also do the third thing, which I was talking about, is going the opposite. So what I try to do is try to just see like if there's been any new builds done here. So obviously it's 2022 that we're in. Let's do 2019. Let's see if there's anything been built. 2019, but you got to change this from vacant to residential and do single family. All right, so nothing's been built. So then I can go back. I'll do 15, nothing. Do 10, nothing. Oh, this is all a quarter mile, by the way. I mean, half a mile. If I want to be spicy, I'll just do
Right.
mile. Nothing was sold. So let's do 2005. All right, so 2005, there looks like there was a bunch of stuff that got built, right? So now we know 2010 was the last one. So let's do 2009. All right. All right, so nothing was built in 2009. Nothing 2008.
Yeah, I know with it being a historic district, a lot of the houses was like converted or like, you know what I mean? They was
Yeah.
grandfathered into the zone and then people built up on what they already had kind of. And I found some high comps in that category, but they're not new builds.
Right. So it wouldn't be the same, right? So this is why it's good. And you hit it right on the head. Like nothing's been built here since 2007. In 2007, you had 5 properties that got built here. That was 2007.
Hmm.
Right? So the market is the market is different from last month than it is today. So let alone 2007. But this still kind of gives you the data that you know, like, okay, there hasn't been any decent real building new builds over here in the last 5 years at least.
Right.
But you saw that there were people buying land. So now I wouldn't even be worried about, okay, what could a new house built on this land cost, what that would be, doesn't matter. The only thing that matters right now is how much are they willing to pay for the land.
Right.
And the only thing you need to figure out is if they're willing to pay me X amount of dollars, how much money do I have the land for? And that spread is my payday. That's it.
Right.
You don't got to do all the extra work.
Because I have it under contract now.
You broke up.
Some of my buyers, I said because I have it under contract right now. Actually, I said just some of my buyers, they were more interested in trying to build multifamily. But like I said, it being a historic district, the people who do have multifamily, like 2 and 3 plexes over there, they converted their single family homes to the 3 and 4 plexes. So if we were trying to buy one with the zoning, they won't let us do it, and they won't let us put a second building or anything. So my guy was like, "Well, yeah, if I could put 2 buildings, I'll buy it. But if I can't, then I'm not really interested."
Yeah. So what you got to do is figure out which part of the fight is better for you. Is there a way you can figure a way around that zoning issue? If not, then you just need to find new buyers who are like, yeah, I'm looking for a project that I can work on for the next 2 years. I don't care. Right. And I just want to get it in. And he said, well, how much would you pay me for it? That's how I would go about it.
For sure.
Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. Glad I was able to help. Anything else?
No. I know as far as me advertising, I was putting on there the price of some of the houses that I seen that was sold. Like I said, it was like a mid 500 comp that I found in that area. Single family residence. So I was put those comps in my, in my blast letter or whatever my emails I was sending out.
I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Because it's that's relative. Like that sold for $500K doesn't mean anything to a new build. Right. So what you're comparing is apples to oranges. They are fruit, but I need to be able to figure out what works for this. This is why I'm saying, in this particular example, I would use reverse wholesaling. What would my end buyer pay for it? Because at the end of the day, that's all that's matter. When you did what you did, you're trying to justify, hey, here's what you should pay for it. But truthfully, who cares what you should pay for it? What do you want to pay for it? Right? What you want to pay for it is the number you really care about, T. Right. The number, what you should pay for it, like honestly, you could give 2 rats ass. You don't care what they should pay for it, bro. Right. You want to know, what would you pay for it? I'll pay you $100,000. Bet. If I got this for you at $100,000, how soon would you be willing to sign? I can sign paperwork today. What you talking about, T? Bet. Right. Say less. Give me 30 minutes, and then you go make sure your contract is at a lower price point, and whatever is in between, that's all the money you get to keep. You got to take out $10 to send me a Chick-fil-A coupon, you know what I mean? And then that's it. That's all it's required. Right, but see, that's 10 times easier, which is what we got to get used to doing, right? Like sometimes you got to drill down and do all the numbers this, that, and third. But majority of the time, it's super simple. We won't have to do all the extra stuff, right? You got it at this price. They want it at this price. Can you make that marriage work? And if you can, you eating every day of the week.
And when you saying do the, because I heard reverse wholesaling, but when you doing that, typically you saying vet the buyer first and then go find the criteria. Like instead of me having a deal, then going to them, like you said, actually see what he interested in, what price point, and then find something in there. And then,
Absolutely. Find out what your buyer wants, man. Right? When we start businesses, in any other business, when you start a business, the first thing you say is who's the customer, right? And what does the customer want? What do they need? And then you build whatever your product is to supply whatever the customer needs. In real estate and wholesaling, for whatever reason, we've come to be like, I'm gonna build this wholesaling company, and every investor is my buyer. No. When you think about it, all investors buy differently anyway. You got some that are doing fix and flips. You got some that are doing buy and holds. You got some that are doing, affordable housing that buy different from the other people that are doing buy and holds, even though they're both doing rentals. Everybody's doing things differently. So if that's the scenario, why not just find 4 or 5 buyers who are buying, You know their buy criteria, and then you just go look for just those things.
Right.
Make your life easier, bro.
Right.
All
Definitely
right.
makes sense. Yes, sir.
Good. Hey man, you coming out next week?
To what?
Oh man, we having an event next
Yeah,
week.
I just came across your your page today actually. So
Oh, nice, dope. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Well, good. If you can come out next week, that'd be dope. We can meet face to face, and I'll definitely connect you with some people that's gonna be in the building, and get you locked in. Right. And this is
what?
what we're doing.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be next week at the Hudson Grill, 7 p.m. If you follow me on IG, you'll see the flyer out there, and you see the link. You can click that link for the to be able to buy tickets and everything, right? And we're going to be talking about creative financing, like how to use what's going on in the market right now and use creative financing to recession-proof your business. So you hear everybody talking about recession, housing crash, blah 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 blah. Those are all true. Yet there's going to be tons of money to be made in this same market. You just have to have the right tools. Think of it like this. Right now, people have been building houses and they've been using hammers and they've been eating crazy. But now you can't use a hammer. You got to use a drill at this part of the game. Creative financing is like using a drill. And we're going to be going over that and teaching you from A to Z. I got one of the biggest cash buyers in Atlanta who does a lot of creative deals. He's my partner on a lot of stuff that I do. Abraham Gray. He's going to be there teaching game. I have agents, I have investors, I have title company people come in, hard money lenders, gated lenders. We have probate attorneys. We have real estate attorneys. Like, it's going to be lit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Title company's going to be there. So if you want to show up, definitely come through. And then obviously every week, every Thursday, we do this show on YouTube, on Facebook, live, Compin Atlanta at 3 p.m. You bring your deals. We'll comp them, tell you what the buy price should be at. You can get locked up. Or if we like it, we'll either buy it, or I got a couple of partners that I know that watch this show and be texting me like, yo, I like that deal, send that deal to me. Tell them to hit me up. You know what I'm saying? So it's a cool little spot.
Yeah, as far as I got two questions. You mentioned because I'm not right now. I'm not on Instagram. I really just made a Facebook again. So you know what I'm saying. I ain't really plugged in on Instagram, but
That's perfect. That's perfect. Let me tell you why. Because you can follow me on IG. We already became friends on IG on Facebook. We became friends on Facebook, and I post everything on Facebook too, right?
Okay.
But also, what you should do is you want to go to this Facebook group that we started. It's called Atlanta Elite Business Connections.
The REI one?
Yep.
Yeah, I just added. That's how I came across this actually.
Perfect. So you definitely want to get in on that page. I'm gonna put it here for everybody else to be able to catch it.
Is that the ticket information on that page? Because that's what I'm saying. I don't have Instagram to see that ticket information you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna post it on this page for you as soon as we get off.
Okay.
So that way you'll be able to jump. In fact,
hey, you can delete my post because I just sent I put that one right there. That's the same one that I sent you. The one it's like the first one on the thing.
This right here?
That right there, yeah. Because I had put that same comp stuff I was telling you about that you told me that I might as well not even put. So.
Oh no, you gotta delete it, man. I'm not gonna take away your shame. You gotta go delete your own shame out of this thing.
Okay, I deleted it.
But I got you. I'm about to pull this up for you.
All
right. So here you go. Try to get me to do your dirty work. They're gonna be like, oh man, what happened? I thought he posted it.
Right.
Oh, not streaming. All right, that's not what I'm trying to copy. There you go. All right, trying to post it, but it's moving. There you go. Moving hella slow. T, stop taking all the internet, bro. What you doing over there?
Hey man, you gotta come off that dial up, man.
Oh, the dial up. Oh, yeah. All right, that's how you get kicked off the stage. Hold on, let me see if I can find you set up. All right, there you go. I just tagged you in the post.
Okay.
You can jump in on that, and that's how you get your tickets and everything.
All right, but and then the last question was, I actually just seen I don't know if it was on your page or just a bunch of Facebook groups I just added, because I just made a Facebook like yesterday or 2 days ago just to kind of get into networking stuff. But as far as this Gator financing, what is that?
So Gator lending is something that myself and a couple of friends of mine do. That is to help wholesalers do more business, right? In fact,
like, because I'm familiar with hard money, so in comparison,
Mhm.
you know what I mean, from that perspective, you know what I mean. I'm listening.
Yeah. So in fact, I actually have somebody that does a lot of Gator lending. She's in my virtual office, and I don't know if she's busy. Let me see. Heather, are you busy? Come. Okay. Could you talk to? So this is Heather, everybody.
What's going on?
She's here. She's here in Atlanta, and she is one of my individuals, one of my good friends. We do Gator lending. My guy T here just wanted to find out, like, hey, what's Gator lending? He's been seeing all this information going out and wanted to know what is Gator lending. He says he knows what hard money is, but doesn't have a clue what Gator lending is.
Is she speaking?
Yeah, you can't hear her?
No.
Oh, he can't hear you. I'm not sure why. Media. Hold on. Let me see something. Yeah, sharing computer. Okay. Well, I can translate if that works for you. That works for you.
Yeah.
I can translate it. Go ahead. Say what you're saying. I'll repeat it. Okay. So Gator lending is a way Gators, or lenders, private money lenders, could lend money to wholesalers for EMD, for example, if they don't have it. Is that it? You want more?
Me or her?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So no, you're good. You're good. So Gator lending is to help you with EMD, help you with gap funding, and also help you with transactional funding or double closing if needed. So T, have you ever had a deal that a seller was like, well, I want $10,000 down, and you're like, I ain't got it.
Yeah, that at that point it just wasn't the deal for me.
It wasn't a deal, right? That's not my blessing. Like, that's not my blessing. The Lord gave me my blessing. So here's how this would work. So now you would have a contact like Heather, right? And you say, Heather, here's this deal. I got this deal. Seller wants 10K. All the other wholesalers don't want to do the deal because they don't have 10K like me. What can I do? And Heather would then take the deal, underwrite it with you, make sure the deal looks good on paper as in everything else. And then she would say, okay, here's what I do. How much money were you going to make on this deal? Mm-hmm. You'd be like, if I can get this deal, I'll probably make 20 stacks. Okay, cool. Listen, I'll give you the 10K down and just give me 5K back. Right? Would you pay 5K to be able to bring home 15?
I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Just like transactional lending, you know what I'm saying? I use
exactly like it.
Lending to double close when I do money.
Exactly like it. And I'm pretty sure whatever you play on your transactional lending, Heather could have got you that money at a cheaper cost. So that's exactly what it's like. And what you want to do next time, right, is to be able to, and also, so I teach a method, and we'll probably do a training on this. If you came to the live events, I went over this. I teach a method called scorching the earth. And because I have gator lenders, I'm a gator lender myself, but because I have that backing, I use that to my advantage. So when I'm talking to a seller and they're like, oh, I got like 4 or 5 people giving me offers and stuff there. I said, okay, that's great. Listen, how about this? I'll buy the property at the price that I told you, but I'll put down $10K as my earnest money. Is any of your other wholesalers doing that? Now, I have some other things that I say as well, but by the time I get done, fam, I don't care who walked in that door before me or who's walking after me. You're not beating my offer.
Yeah, that make you look like a player, like a real player. Like, oh, he's serious.
Oh, see, that's where you're wrong. I am a real player. You see what I'm saying? But that's what the seller's gonna say. Like, oh yeah, he's a real. It's not because at this point we're not looking like real players. I'm just making sure that the vocabulary is changing. Because once you get off the Zoom, I want you to start saying the same thing. I want you to start using the same thing with your sellers, right? Like, seller, listen, I'm a real player in this game. The other wholesaler you're talking to, not only they're gonna have an assignment in their contract, but that money is gonna be refundable. I promise you. Let's go look at it. Where's it at? Yep, told you. They're putting down $100,000. If $100 earnest money, what do you think that's worth it? They're gonna be like, no, but that's what everybody's doing. All right, just to show you I'm serious, to show you that I'm serious, and I want this deal today. I'll put down $5,000. I'll put down $10,000. I'll put down $15,000 earnest money today. But I can't go back to the office with no paperwork. So I can do that, but we gotta sign a contract today, or I gotta go buy another house.
Right.
So what you want to do? It's a no-brainer, right? Obviously, that's not the only thing. It's just something that you add. This to me is called the icing on the cake.
Yeah, for sure. I was complimenting. I was saying that make you look legit.
Yeah, I know. I was just messing with you. But yeah, so that's exactly how I would do it. But Heather, thank you so much. I know she got a call. See, she getting that gator money, man. Somebody saw her number, was like, oh, I need that right now. Let me call her right now. Thank you, Heather. T, you got anything else?
Nah, that's
no problem.
Much it. I definitely appreciate the game. I'm gonna look up that information, see what day and time, and try to try to make my way down there.
All right, bet. Perfect. Well, my guy, thanks for jumping in, joining on with us. Thank you for everybody else for jumping in. My office squad, we get in every day. Love you guys. As soon as we get off of this, I'm gonna jump back into the office and make some calls and stuff. So that's gonna be fun. Everybody else, thank you guys for logging in. Remember, we do this every Thursday at 3 p.m. I'm going to be doing this next Thursday at 3 p.m., even though Thursday night at 7, we're going to have our amazing event, and that's going to be it. You know what I'm saying? So definitely chime in, lock in. Somebody said, are you still comping? No, we're not still comping. I'm just getting off. But if you need help, shoot the deal, email me the deal, and I'll comp it for you. All right, I won't leave you hanging, especially because your name is Wu-Tang 23361. So I mean, how can I not help out Wu-Tang? Wu-Tang is for the kids. So definitely send that over to me, and I got you. Yeah, for sure. Got you, bro. Vincent, thanks for logging in, jumping in with us. Make sure you guys spreading the word. Want to get this thing to grow even more, and subscribe to the channel, so we can get it to grow and really put some action into it and get a team and everything. It's going to be dope. Again, we just love doing this, love helping the Atlanta family so we all can be making money together and learning how to be able to do it the right way. So with that being said, peace. Love you all. See you soon.